sit up front. Matthew.
Close to you.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys, let's get going.
We're still doing one or can they both hand it out?
They both can. All right, good evening, everyone. I think it's for the... good evening, ladies and gentlemen. National tournament players, welcome to the 22 under 16 and under 18 Western Province Boys A and B team announcement. A special welcome to Mr. Farco Mulder, President of the Western Province Hockey Union, and to Mr. Matthew D'Souza, our guest speaker tonight. Thank you both for making the time available to join us here. This is the first time in 3 years that we have been able to run a full set of trials, and the first time ever we've aimed to select Western Province C and D sides, replacing the zonal teams of old. What is clear is that we are still able to select two very competitive sides in each age group to compete in the SA Nationals. The under 18As are defending champions, and the under 16As and all Bs need to step one up from silver to gold this year. I'd like to thank each and every one of you seated here today. You're not here by luck and talent alone. It takes effort, commitment, passion, bloodied knees and knuckles to get the standard of players, or get to the standard of player that you all are. Without those efforts, it would have been so much harder to send quality sides to the tournament. Well done to you guys. The selection of provincial hockey teams takes an enormous amount of work, often unseen and in the background, and involves many people, from selectors to administrators to umpires and to conveners, all of whom do it on an entirely voluntary basis. I think I counted up the hours involved that some of the gentlemen sitting in front of us here would have put into these trials, and that's over 25 hours on weekends and on public holidays. I'd like them to acknowledge them and thank them for all their efforts. In particular, I'd also like to thank Mr. Craig Lotter, Mr. Wesley Guma, who planned and oversaw the overall trial process. I know that it is a thankless and frustrating task at times, but I think that you will all agree that the administration and logistics of the trials all went off without a hitch, barring the load shedding at Hartley Vale, which I don't think we can blame on them. The zonal coordinators who started the process just over a month ago, Rico Spies and Brian Algie, who coordinated and ran the North and East Zone trials, Kefis Dlamini and James Peverley, who coordinated and ran the South Zone trials. To all the selectors who were involved, both at zonal and provincial levels, in particular, I'd like to thank in the under 16 age group, Messrs. Barry Mart, the neutral selector, Wesley Guma, and the 4 under 16 Western Province teams coaches, and in the under 18 age group, Mrs. Pierre Leroux, Devon Stanton, the neutral selector, Matthew McConkey, and the 4 under 18 team coaches. And finally, the goalkeeper selector, Mr. Rob McKinley. To the coaches, Bryce under 18A, Bryce West under 18A, Kent Kakura under 18B, Jody Erasmus under 16A, and Keelan Tobin under 16B. Thank you for your continued enthusiasm and commitment to Western Boys Hockey, for the time taken in selecting your teams and going forward, the time you're going to put in training and coaching that. I know that in addition to the 5 rounds of trials they attended, both Bryce and Jody spent hours watching footage of games from pre-season festivals and tournaments, as well as 1 or 2 league games, so that they had a very clear picture, or good picture, of how the players perform in their own school teams. To Mrs. Cindy Giga, hiding away in the back, thank you for all your help with the administration of Western Province Boys Hockey. Birth certificate checks, kit orders, bossing of players, managers, coaches and committee members, and washing of smelly and sweaty trial bibs, and giving up of her time at trials to act as first aid. My grateful thanks to you. And finally, I'd like to thank Bishops for allowing us to use the Woodlands Pavilion, and to the ES Media team for live streaming the team announcements. That's all from me. I'm going to hand over to Mr. Devon Stanton to introduce our guest speaker.
Thank you, Sean. First of all, just welcome to the exec. Okay, welcome to all the coaching staff, and then most importantly, welcome to the boys. Okay, this night's all about you guys, and we're very fortunate tonight to have one of the current national players, which Sean has mentioned, which is Matt D'Souza over here. And before I hand over to Matt, he doesn't like to talk about himself too much, so I'd just like to let you know a little bit about Matt, what he's achieved currently. I won't go way back into his history, but more just on the current stuff. So currently Matt's sitting on 23 caps, not out, as he will be going to the next pro league in Europe. Okay, he's just come back from Argentina with the national side, playing Argentina and being really successful there. He also played in the second leg of Pro League at Poch against some very, very tough opposition. But for me, the most important part about Matt is that he's a midfielder that scores. And when they asked who should I get here to come and chat to you guys, Matt was the first guy to come to mind. And not just because he's a midfielder that scores, but I've only actually coached Matt for a year and a bit at Western Province Career Club. And for me, I don't actually coach him, that's the wrong word. Okay, I work with him. Okay, because when you get to the level that Matt's at now, there's not many things you can teach him or coach him, okay, because he's a coach as well. He teaches me. And it's that working relationship. And I'm sure eventually you guys want to get to that. And when someone like myself can say that they're no longer coaching you, but they work with you, okay, and you learn from each other, then you can say you've made it. Okay, but not to the top yet, mate. You've still got a lot of hockey to play. When you get those rankings where we want them, then we will definitely have the best working relationship. So, yeah, nothing more from my side. I'd like Matt to come up and, have a chat with the boys.
Thanks, Dev. That was a nice introduction. Wasn't expecting that. Okay, good evening, everyone, and thank you for allowing me to come and speak to you guys today. Firstly, congratulations to all of you guys sitting here today. You've worked very hard to get to where you are. I don't know how the team announcements work, but well done for being here already. It's always an honor and privilege playing for Western Province and for your blue and white strip. So just a brief history of myself. I know Dev said I don't like talking about myself, but I'll try to talk about myself just a little bit, just so you can understand where I came from. I grew up in Durban. I went to school at Northwood, down in Durban. Unfortunately, I didn't end up winning an RPT for KZN Coastals. In my matric year, we ended up losing to Western Province. So, quite disappointing. But then after my school, I moved up to Marty's. I attended here 4 years where I studied my accounting degree. We played in 4 years in a row. We won the Grand Challenge League title, which is, for those of you who don't know, is just the Cape Town League. Once I finished my studies, I then moved back to Durban, where I then continued with my articles, which is basically how I qualified to be a chartered accountant. Then once I was done there, I was playing for Riverside. I was playing for Riverside during my time there, and also played for KZN Raiders, where we won a men's RPT, which is my first ever men's RPT, which is quite a big achievement for myself and for the team. After that, I decided that Cape Town was actually the #1 province, so I moved back here, and this is me. So yeah, I play for Dev now under the Badgers, which is the Western Province Cricket Club, and yeah, playing for Western Province and the South African men's team. Yeah, so basically RPT for me is just one of the most challenging tournaments that there is, just because you get introduced to new teammates and from different schools and different clubs. They all have a different style of play, who's been coached by different teams. And you're also expected to go gel together to win the trophy. Even though all of this is said, the coaching staff here is very competent, so I'm sure there will be no issues with your preparation. It's also an opportunity for the team to do well and hopefully get a number of players into the SA school setup. This is a great building block for your future ambitions as a player. You guys sitting here today are the future of South African hockey, as well as for Western Province. I really look forward to seeing many of your faces in the next few years, breaking into the national teams, as well as playing against you in RPTs, as well as the local leagues. I already recognize a few of your faces from coaching and also playing. I recognize you, I saw you the other day, and you're my teammate over there. So it's really exciting to see that all these guys are coming through the ranks, and hopefully we'll see you in the national team very soon. It's also a really exciting time for South African hockey, with the team doing really well at the Olympic Games, as well as us getting invited to Pro League, as Dev mentioned earlier. You would also have seen a lot more hockey on TV, which is also very exciting for you guys sitting here, because the sport's gaining a lot of interest throughout the whole country. This should only motivate you and inspire you to work harder towards your dreams and the goals that you've set out for yourselves. My advice to you is for you guys to keep working hard and to also never stop learning. I know Dev mentioned that we have a working relationship and that I also coach him, but in fact, he teaches me a lot every single training, and it's just by being attentive and listening to all the details, and that's basically how you learn and grow. So wherever you are, never be satisfied, just try keep learning and keep growing, and even a small improvement is better than what you were yesterday. I also always try to ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions during a training session or during a team talk. Most of the time, half your team's probably wondering the same thing anyway. I'm going to leave you with this quote by Anthony D'Angelo. Develop a passion for learning. If you do, you'll never cease to grow. Good luck with your RPT, guys, and all the best. Thanks.
Thank you, Matt, and on behalf of Western Province Boys Hockey, and to your training. All right, guys, we're going to move on to team announcements. We're going to start with the under-16s and the under-16As, and in alphabetical order. All right. The under-16As for 2022. Noah Aries, Fairmont High. Ethan Daniels, Weinberg Boys. Dale Gertson, Weinberg Boys. Zachary Gibbon, Weinberg Boys. Liam Good, Fairmont High. James Grieve, Bishops. Lutando Jim, Kailicha Hockey Club. Lita Cry, Sax. Joe LaRue, Sax. Joshua Metler, Currow Durbanville. Stefan Meyer, sax. Zachary Redfern, sax. Reese Chenas, sax. Robert Feltman, bishops. Noah Fenter, sax. Cohen Williams, sax. And the A-team coach, Jody Erasmus. Thanks very much, guys. We'll get photos afterwards, okay? Photos afterwards. All right, on to the under 16 Bs. Cole Elam, sax. Dominic Ellis, Rondebosch boys. Muath Khanif, bishops. Joe Gitlin, Redham Constantia. Aidan Hughes, sax. Liam Clenchies, Weinberg boy. Ethan Lee, Weinberg boys. Hilton Lima, Rondebosch boys. Ryan Moose, Fairmont High. Anam Koshla, Rondebosch boys. Bongani Nonkwelo, Kaalicha Hockey Club. Bongani not here. Jordan Paulson, Weinberg boys. Andrew Robenheimer, bishops. Ethan Solwanle, Kaalicha Hockey Club. Hayden Stoll. Hayden, Pinelands High. And Aidan Topper, Al Shaddai. And the coach, Keelan Tobin. Hello, guys. We'll take photos afterwards. Right, moving on to the under 18A side. Congratulations to the following boys. Alex Blows, Rondebosch. John Paul Brits, Rondebosch. Eli Bush, Stellenberg. Dean Carrick, Sachs. Michael Kahn, sax. James Flint, bishops. Brett Horn, bishops. Liam Hout, sax. Sebastian Lagrange, bishops. Luca Miller, Rondebosch. Nathan Msakiwe, Rondebosch. Daniel Newhoff, Bishops. Lihle Nonjekwa, Langa. Josh Opperman, Sachs. Imbasa Pilingane, Langa. Rogan Sturk, Sachs. Coach of the under 18As, Bryce West, and the manager, Randall Crisp. Thank you guys. We'll take photos just now. All right, the under 18Bs. Nati Baliso, Kailicha. Lita Binta, Brackenfell High. Ray Bonet, Sachs. Chase Cotti, Sachs. Alex Krauser, Kuro Durbanville. Rowan Davis, Sachs. Raif Duncan, Fairmont High. Caleb Ferreira, Kuro Durbanville. Cameron Lazar, Redham, Durbanville. Jagus Lokenstein, Fairmont. Wayne Mandabva, Sachs. Intando Nongauza, Kailicha. Lutanda Nkuna, Langa. Keegan Rogers, Kuro Durbanville. Timothy Patton, Sachs. Michael Royden Turner, Sachs. Coach Kent Kakura. And the manager, Sam Holmes. All right, thank you guys.
Good evening, everybody. I think it's fantastic to see so many young players in front of me in particular. I think, you all remember that 2 years we had COVID and we didn't play any competition at national level, let alone local level. And I think that you guys are the next generation, to push yourself to a good standard of hockey at the tournament that is coming up, the under 18 and under 16 tournament in Stellenbosch. I'm sure that you will create yourself as a team, to be a team, and score goals as you normally do at a tournament like that. There's a lot of competition, I'm sure, but you're all on the same playing field as everybody else in all the provinces. They also lost 2 years of competition. So we will see how this will develop here in Cape Town, in Stellenbosch, and see how the players develop to the next level. And I hope that you have a fantastic tournament here in Cape Town and make lots of friends, because that is also part of playing hockey, that you meet a lot of friends. There's a lot of other tournaments coming up, and I think I just want to mention that at your age, hockey never stops. There's still a Western Province and the World Cup Masters tournament coming up here in Cape Town in October. It shows you that people are playing at that level too. So your career is a long one, a long path. But good luck with the tournament that you're going to. Thank you.
All right, just to close off, I'd like to wish the 4 teams the very best in their preparation and in the national tournament in the holidays. We've always traditionally competed very strongly. I think Matt referred to that, and as I mentioned earlier, we do have a gold medal to defend, certainly at the under 18 level. Having seen a lot of hockey played in pre-season tournaments and festivals, I think the Cape Town schools are well placed to compete strongly. So I wish you all the best. I'd like to thank Matt and Mr. Mulder for making time to be with us and for their words of encouragement. We need to just get some admin done before you all go home. So can we do the following? Under 16s, we need to go down onto the turf. Steps are just down here behind me, and have a couple of team photos. Can I ask the Saxon Bishops boys in the A side to take a chair with them? And the under 18s, A's at the back, B's in the front, just to get some paperwork. Otherwise, thank you very much.